The Uganda we want. So mu Uganda gye twagala mu lutalo luno olw'okulwanyisa obulabbayo obukenuzi nze kyempita obuvundu. Munna Uganda alina okuba nga yeenyigiramu. Ffenna twenyigire mu lutalo.
Ate abalala tebasomye kuzimba wabula bayize okuzimba.
Uganda gye twagala okulaba ng'enguudo zonna nkole nungi, public transport nga weeri.
Kati eno gavumenti eriwo erina akabonero ka Lucifer. Buli kyotunulako mu Uganda kiriko oxygen. Either babika amawulire malungi oba mawulire mabi. Minisita teyeetaagisa kabangali budde buno zaaki.
At this time, why should somebody import furniture from outside Uganda? Let us leave NRM to be in charge for another 36 years or more.
I really want to see a Uganda that believes in the rule of law. If you have a constitution in place, follow it to the letter. Don't change laws just because you want them to favor you.
Kuba njagala omanye nti obugagga bwonna Uganda bwe yeeyagaliramu buyita waffe ku ttaka lyaffe. Naye busoga mugidibaze.
How can a referral hospital refer you to a private clinic? The Uganda we want buli muntu ateekwa okumanya nti I am a stakeholder, nkwatibwako si kwesuulirayo gwa naggamba.
Uganda oyinza okukakana nga mwe mulina bagraduates aba university nga bangi okusinga ebungereza. Mwe mufokasinga nnyo ku degree. Eri bo bafokasinga nnyo nti byensomye mbijeemu omulimu n'enkola.
We are dreaming of a Uganda where at a young age there is such a relationship between parent and son, parent and daughter, where the daughter can say this is what I want.
Uganda gye twagala empya tesobola kubeerawo nga tewali mateeka. Amateeka agakola.
The Uganda we want. Welcome to the program, The Uganda we want. And of course, this edition is gonna advance a bit and we are going to talk about the East Africa we want. I want to say thank you for watching Dream TV, Doxa TV, and listening to us on Impact FM Radio, Rasa Mayinja. My name is Mulanzi Robert, and today I am privileged to host Honorable you see there are some names that you don't joke with and you have to be careful when you're saying them. But this is Honorable Kaaya Christine. She's going to be with us within this time, sharing her perspective of the kind of East Africa that she envisions. Why? Because she's contesting to represent Uganda on the ticket of a National Unity Platform to represent Uganda in the East African Legislative Assembly. So as we head to the elections, we want her to speak to us, to speak to the nation, to speak to East Africa about the East Africa that she would love to see. Honorable, you're so welcome, and I don't want to eat any of your minute. Could you first greet our viewers and our listeners?
Greetings to you all viewers and listeners. This is Kaaya Christine Nachimwero. See, some others prefer putting honorable first, others last, especially in the write-ups. The honorable title would come last. So I am privileged to be here, but I would like to thank the management of the media houses and stations that have collected me, convened me to say something about the East Africa that we want. And I hail from Chiboga district. I am a Muganda by tribe and I belong to the Kasimba clan. I think that is what makes people fear to announce Nachimwero. It sounds a difficult name actually, even when you look at it, but that's where I come from. And I also belong to the National Unity Platform Party, and which is the leading opposition party in Uganda. And I am professionally an environmentalist, and I have serious write-ups and qualifications of an environmentalist. And so much of my work I've been doing is natural resources management, climate change, land management, and gender. So I fall under those three professional groupings. Anything under those three, I'm very capable and able to share appropriately, be it material support, be it advocacy, or extension, because we usually offer services in three types: extension, advocacy, and material support. Any of the three that looks at still the three professional groupings is very convenient for me. And now I previously was the woman member of parliament for the district, and so it has given me serious political mileage, and that is why I'm very, very grateful to the people of Chiboga who have showed me their love, and they have not deterred their love from me up to date. Yeah. So I don't blame any person from Chiboga. They have done their work, only that somehow, somewhere, Ugandan elections had issues. But all in all, we thank God that we are still alive and we can do better.
We can do better.
And what was put in us cannot be halted because you are not a member of parliament. Because even before you became a member of parliament, there's something that electorates saw in you. And what they saw in you should not vanish because you have lost as a member of parliament. It should continue. And these are the years. These are the years we are supposed to uphold leadership at all levels. And so we should not sit back and wait and, cry over certain things. No, there is always, where there is a will, there is always a way. And we are not here by mistake, but we have to utilize our time so well.
Okay. Well, it's good to have you, and thank you for those remarks. They are really touching, and I hope those that maybe didn't make it are recovering and ready to take on, because this term really shocked some Ugandans when you look at the brain that we are missing in the Parliament of Uganda. And hopefully we pray that those that replaced you will actually do much better than what you were going to do. That's our hope and our prayer as a nation and as Ugandans who go in the basin to vote or to cast our votes through for people to represent us. But briefly, on the issue of advocacy, how are we, just give us 5 minutes at least, you say something, how are we spoiling our environment? How are we damaging our environment, and how can we protect the environment? I saw some money being put into the Ministry of Water and Environment to actually create awareness on climate change and how we can protect the environment. But I want to hear from you, since you are an expert. What could be your voice? What could be your words to us Ugandans when it comes to environmental protection and climate change?
Yeah, thank you so much. On the issue of environment, I would like first of all to say that Ugandans are learning by experience now. Even somebody who has never heard of the word climate change, he or she can ably say, yes, there is a change in the weather we experience. Because somebody can easily say, hey, we used to have these words describing the months of the year. For example, Gatonya, meaning March. March in Uganda is called Gatonya, meaning that is the month when the rains would start. But now, they don't start in March. So even the smallest of the smallest is feeling the impact of climate change. But broadly, the capacity of our people to differentiate between natural resources and climate change, or environmental management and climate change, is still disturbing us. And I even remember when I just finished my degree for environmental management in 2003. People were like, what have you studied? Those are English people's issues. For us, we are not concerned.
We still have our 2 seasons. We are,
yeah,
okay. We are good.
And recently, I also heard the President Museveni abusing some people that, you know, here we have some people who can eat, sleep without spending money for months, and somebody has not died. Meaning that we have had good natural resources where somebody thrives on natural resources without spending. But as we talk now, things are changing. They are changing. You must part with some money to have what to eat, and it is increasing to the extent that even farmers, can invest in their farming but still not get anything. Meaning we have to do something about it. So what I want to tell Ugandans that the issues of climate change are not issues of the English, issues of the Europeans, or the outside world, or the developed world. Each one of us, when it comes to effects, we all get affected. When it comes to doing something about it, some people have been leaving the responsibilities to others. Probably, Kaaya, you are the professionals, you deal with it. We are calling on everybody to do something, to be responsible. That's why we are even designing programs that are individual based. If we say plant trees, we no longer say you must have an acre to plant eucalyptus, pines. No, we have trees that have different functions. Trees for firewood, trees for ornamental, trees for fruits, trees for demarcating your land, trees for fertilization of your soils, trees for foliage of your animals. So you cannot say that with all those uses for you, you have no tree to plant.
Or you have no reason to plant a tree.
Trees, when we are even looking for poles to provide you with energy, we want poles which are trees from your garden. We would like those trees to make you fertilizers. Well, so a lot of them. So you cannot say that, I have no land, so I cannot plant trees. Because there are a number of, we need the trees to stake tomatoes, to stake crops, to stake bananas. So where are you going to get all that? So we are saying that everybody is responsible for doing something. That is some message I want to tell you. But there is also something to do with the policy environment for the environmental management. A number of policies are available. They are very available. We have a lot of them, and we are increasingly becoming very specific. For example, we can say the climate change policy, and then we come up with the agricultural adaptation policy. The health sector has also come up with its adaptation plan, and we were in the process of also coming up with the energy adaptation plan. So we are even becoming more specific. Why? Because we would like every sector to take this as an important issue. Without it, we are nowhere. Look at the reliance of tourism on climate change. Those people who work in the tourism sector, some of them were like, provided my animals have not been killed, they have not been poisoned, I can still count my ostriches. They were certain, now they are 35. Oh, we have done a lot. If you have not managed the environment in which the ostriches live, you are finished. Yeah. Even if you recruit specialized veterinary doctors without good environment, I'm telling you, they will run away from the animals. Will run away from Uganda and cross over to Congo, cross over to
the agro-industrialization we have invested the money in. Is still to not thrive. If we don't manage our environment.
So we are telling every Ugandan that climate change, environmental management is a cross-cutting item or sector that needs to be incorporated if we are to generate income from our different sectors.
Okay.
Yes.
Well. Yeah. Thank you so much, Honorable. I hope that message has sunk very well in our hearts and has seated very well with us. And she's calling you to do something. She's not calling you to just sit down. she's actually calling us to action. Let us do something. Even the leaders do something, even as on the individual level, we as well implement something. Well,
maybe before we leave that point, there's some very important points that people want to hear from people like me.
I want to hear you about the East Africa, but please give us
but
that
this is
point.
also very important regarding the wetlands and how people have been looking for me to say something about it. Maybe I'm calling on Ugandans and the government. Obviously, I'm talking about the leaders in government. To look at the past mistakes. We have mistakes, but when we want to correct them, we want
or we create more mistakes.
No, we want the grassroots people to suffer.
Oh, yeah.
That is where I'm beginning to see a challenge. First of all, we have selective implementation of the law. It applies because a small person was not inducted on where to go in order to get an environment impact assessment for a small house. He had to put in a wetland. But then these other big shots, for them, they know those officers went and got papers and established their factories in wetlands. So the moment our grassroots people don't see us shaking the big ones, then they think it is okay. They needed also to be given information on how to construct a small house in a wetland. But what I'm saying is that let's admit that we have past mistakes. When the Wetlands Act came into place in 1995, what happened? People had land titles with wetlands. On the land titles, there was arable land and wetlands. And we were told that whoever is going to sell out your land, any new owner would have less land. The wetland part would be cut off from the new title. Now, these people didn't sell their land. What they have been doing, they have been selling out bibanja plots on their land without cutting off the wetland portions. And when you are looking for a plot to buy, obviously you check on the landowner and everything is okay. He's the right landowner and the land is the right coverage. And so you go ahead to pay. Now here we are, you just come and chase away somebody. I already told the NEMA, I told some people responsible that there is a certain group that needs to be compensated. Not all people should be vacated the way you have done it. No. Let's admit the mistake and compensate some people. That whoever had a land title with a wetland by 1995, he should not give away the wetland portion freely. He should be paid. And if we sold those portions to some people, they should not just be chased away like rats. There is a certain group of people that need to be compensated. Let's not hide away from that mistake. That is what I wanted to say.
Okay, good. But now it seems, Honorable, these evictions are continuing. And I've had some our grassroots people crying and complaining and saying, we were not informed. We were not given information. We were not told that this and this time will be coming to evict you, prepare yourself, and go. Honorable, what could be your message in line with that? What should NEMA do to make sure that, yes, these people do not keep on crying? Because the more they cry, the more they are going to cause this country also to cry somehow, somewhere.
When you look at the procedures stipulated in our Environment Act of 2019, yes, I think it is 2019. They stipulated the period in which people are supposed to be notified that you...
So one day must be notification.
Yes. The notification has been there for over 3 years, but actually the provision is talking of some 1 month, approximately 1 month notice.
Those are 30 days.
Hey. And these people have been notified some 3 years back. There's a time they started on it, and then they stopped somewhere. Because even doing that is expensive, is money. One time I was prioritizing demarcation. Demarcation would be the best. We were supposed to demarcate all gazetted wetlands such that you establish your house knowing that any day, even if it is 30 years from now, when the government decides to wake up, it will take me away. So people were not, thought it was not serious. So as Uganda, even in all other sectors, some people think, this is not serious. I think when they stopped there, if somebody corrupted some other people and they stopped somewhere, there's a population that thought that, maybe they have ended. Yeah, we better proceed. You get it?
Yeah.
But I want to notify you, Ugandans looking at me. If some wetland is gazetted, a forest is gazetted, a national park is gazetted, don't allow yourself to establish any, don't put any investment there. The way our government is performing these days is at a slow pace, because sometimes there is no money to effect some of those policies. But I want to assure you, whether it will be 30 years from now, the moment I say, now we want to rejuvenate our gazetted wetlands, they will come to you.
And they will take you out.
Yes, and they are not under obligation to compensate you. So the only mistake is the other one I've listed.
Yes.
Try to look at all land titles that were in existence before 1995. Did they have wetlands portions on them? If they had, those portions need to be compensated. And whoever bought from those portions must be compensated. Yeah.
So those who didn't, they should just move away.
Those of you who bought that land after 1995, the wetland portions ceased to be yours. It became government property. It became gazetted wetland. But some people saw that their portions had been cut off from their land titles, but went on to sell. You see, us Ugandans, you're like, he's the landowner. He's the landowner. You see, even the graveyards are there. He's the landowner. He's the one selling to me. Yeah, it is authentic. You are lied to, and even the others don't alert you that, you know what? When we exchange this land, that other portion became government land now. That alert was not there. So you need to be very conscious about it. Okay. The same applies to our places in Chiboga, grazing land. They tend to think that, the wetland, I think it is provided for my land, for my animals to use. No, the day NEMA will wake up to gazette its land, you are finished. You are finished. Yes.
So, Honorable, are you affirming to us and me who is watching you right now that this is not political, but we are trying to, NEMA is waking up to protect our environment?
Yeah, it is waking up.
It's only not political at all.
Yeah, it is not political.
Okay.
It is not, we have even overslept. It is not, because we were supposed to do it before the population became big. Right now, everybody's like, don't you see? By that time, we were only 15 million Ugandans. Now we are 40 what? Actually, we're supposed to do the demarcation at the other time. We are supposed to clear ourselves before the population actually increases. Yes, we are supposed to do it. Because the moment we overweight, then people will assume it is free land. But let's not do it selectively. It should apply to everybody.
Should apply to everybody.
Yes.
I think that message is very clear, Honorable. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Honorable. And let's jump into the East Africa we want. Shaping the East Africa we want, unity, prosperity, and opportunity for all. Well, starting with the vision for East Africa, Honorable, why are you seeking to represent Ugandans and Uganda in the East African Legislative Assembly?
Wow. First of all, in our rules and procedures of Uganda having representation in the East African community, it mandates a democratic process where the leading political party is represented with 6 slots, and then the opposition fraternity is represented with 2 members, and then independents also are represented with 1. So each of the countries, the 8 countries that form the East African community, are supposed to have a representation of 9 members. Now, for Uganda, when I look at myself and look at especially the composition of the East African community, as in the 9, I would follow under the opposition slot. And this is another chance to prove we are democratic. So I am there to ensure that Uganda is proven to be democratic. Yeah, we outlined how we would be taking our 9 representatives to the East African community. And so I'm trying to fulfill what Uganda has already committed in its rules and regulations of taking. But leave alone that. Because usually the rules and procedures may be available, but the candidate, her or himself, is supposed to take lead. What do you see in me that entices others to elect me to that post? First of all, I've told you I am an environmentalist. I have a bachelor's degree in environment management. I also have a master's degree in land use and regional development. And I also have very many certificates in gender management and different certificates in conflict resolution, in poverty analysis, in participatory mechanisms of implementing different livelihood projects. I have worked with civil society organizations. I've worked with government. I once was the district forest officer for Chiboga. And I have worked with parliament as well. And so I am very exposed to local, national, regional, and international bodies. I am a climate change activist and currently climate change negotiator under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, a body that unites the entire globe on issues of climate change. I have been, together with the Minister of Water and Environment, representing my country in the negotiations in different countries. So I have interfaced with a number of countries, and I would say specialists in that sector. Now, in addition to the roles that a normal member of parliament is supposed to execute, the budgetary component, the representation, the oversight, the regulatory part of it, there is only one additional role an East African legislative member is supposed to add on the 4. And that role is called liaison of the East African Parliament with the national parliament. Now, if you have been a member of parliament, although many laws did not come back, but we still have others that remained. So it gives me a milestone to be able to link up the current parliament, the 12th parliament, with the East African parliament. Because I still have contacts.
You have where to start from. Yeah.
Now others don't have where to start from. Sure. And yet it is very important that as a member of parliament in East Africa, you do get issues from this parliament here. Or you must relate well with the members of parliament here to get the issues you are taking over there. There must be a discussion desk where you get consensus of some issues from these members of parliament. So I see that I have enough contacts now, based on my previous performances with the current parliament. Good enough, the current speaker, deputy speaker, I have been in good books with them. They have seen the quality in me. They have seen how I relate with the different parties in parliament, how I approach with the submissions on the different aspects of Uganda. I have been, I'm still nope. And the way I have been handling people. Now, this is the season
when...
At
the Chitebe, aren't they seeing you in like someone who is one leg here, another leg here?
How?
Is the Chitebe okay with the way you handle, you play your politics?
Yeah, it is very okay. I got the ticket. I would say I was given the ticket to represent my party at my district. It was tough. It was tough competition, but they still entrusted me with that ticket to represent the party during the recently concluded. So that one, I'll be there are others who were denied. And I was still given a lot of responsibilities at the party. For some of you have been following me. I've been having a lot of responsibilities at the party. So to me, that one confirms that they are happy with the way I relate. And even when you go back to the district where I hail from, you can trace for some character in me how to combine people, work for all people, execute the mandate of the parliamentarian with all parties. So it is really, people can trace for us and see.
Okay. Well, in line with that very good background of you at the East African Legislative Assembly, I know that decision making is a key component there. How are you going to ensure that Ugandan voices are heard?
It is even very wonderful in East African Parliament that the numbers are not as big as these ones. Because with this big number of 529, I managed to score, especially on submissions on different issues. So I just believe that now with even the smaller numbers, so if it is 9 members per country, that comes 9 times 8. That comes to around 72 members of parliament. So those are a few people. I just believe that is enough platform. That platform should be having enough time for members to submit. And now when it comes to submission, I am superb at that. Policy analysis, I am very good at that, at policy analysis. Whatever policy, I even tried to concentrate so much on my line, but I could see different sectors looking out for me. To utilize the potential I have. There are certain skills that you can train yourself in. A skill like policy analysis is very important for somebody who wishes to be a politician. You have to teach yourself how to analyze a policy in relation to what your country wants, in relation to what your people want. It's very important to teach yourself such a thing. I also have a serious skill in fundraising. Decision making is as a result of what you believe works for your people. Now, what can work for our people right now? In different countries. Remember when you send me to East Africa, I not only become a Ugandan member of parliament there, but I become an East African, being able to defend the Sudanese issues. You are supposed to be in that category.
You are a member of parliament for 7 countries.
Yes, 8.
Actually, 8 countries.
Yeah, you are supposed, because there are moments even when representatives of the East African community are sent to some global meetings and you're supposed to have the 8 countries at a glance. So you must be able to know the problems and what transpires in the different countries and be able to defend. So not only defending Uganda alone, obviously Uganda will be a priority, but somebody who is able to quickly understand the different country policies and take a decision and quickly be able to represent appropriately, confidently about what works for us. That is my character.
And I think when you said that you already have where to start from, like to collect the issues of people, I hope that can as well be added on your submission that Ugandan voices, we must be sure that will be heard. But still, Honorable, allow me ask, if you are elected, and which is our wish and our hope that you are elected member of parliament to represent us in the Yara, how will we Ugandans measure your achievements? Because we want you to be accountable. How will we measure your achievements?
You see, the Ugandan standards, people fear accountability. But I have had enough experiences with belonging to the opposition. The issue of accountability, the way we keep requesting accountability from different sectors, different officers, is the way we should be able to also receive the demand for that accountability. At least from that side, I'm well versed that I should be ready to account to anybody, account to. So what I see missing here is that we need to come up with a simple checklist. We need a simple checklist that we incorporate into the country procedures.
Okay.
The checklist is going to help us measure ourselves.
So who should come up with a checklist? Whom are you trying to?
Me personally, I can come up with that checklist. I can able develop it. But now we relate well with the Ugandan Parliament to ensure that measurement of the indicators is within the members of Parliament here. At least members of Parliament should be able to remember that we have MPs the other side. What have you done? And then it is possible. It is very possible. We have a platform here in Parliament. It just needs re-energization. We also have a voluntary platform called the East African Parliamentary Forum. Now, those are the platforms that need to be re-energized, such that members, in at least every 6 months, they are able to, to interface with us. Yes, and then this is possible if we have people who can push for scheduling of these sessions.
Okay.
Because we are in good books with the current speaker and the deputy speaker. But some people fear that, now when you bring that, Christine, again, I think we shall be asked this and this, and people fear to be accountable here in Uganda. But I want to assure you people, when you regularly account to some people, it may save you of some havoc in the future. This business of waiting for people to interrogate, come to your house, take this, measure this, do what, it is as a result of failure to embrace accountability. If we manage to establish regular sessions where some people interface with us and get to know what is happening.
They ask you face to face, what have you done for us?
Yes, I don't see it difficult for us to, for example, call on you people, the media, every 6 months, at least once every 6 months.
You give us a presser on what
Please come over and get to know what is happening at the East African Legislative Assembly. Come.
Of course, I'm committing myself. I'll be at your foot, at your feet, actually, not even foot, but your feet.
Simple. As in the meantime, as we wait for space on the order paper of the Ugandan Parliament to share. Yes, I know some people have been disappointed by the delays. No such things are taken to be, less prioritized. We need to interest people. There are a lot of participatory mechanisms that we can still establish at our Parliament to make people interested in demanding for accountability from a member of Parliament that represents us in Yala. It is very important. How shouldn't people know?
Okay.
So the easiest indicator I see is the way you relate with members of Parliament. I'm good at that, but it should not only be that. How does she relate with us? Yes, every parliamentary common function we see her. But there should be other indicators and other mechanisms of asking for accountability.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, finally on this issue, is there anything else that you really want to share with us that makes you look a stronger candidate for this position more than the rest? What is that, if it is there?
What is most important is the professionalism in me. In the East African Legislative Assembly, there are over 6 committees. And there is a committee called Agriculture, Tourism and Environment. Agriculture, Tourism and Natural Resources Management. And whenever I look at that committee, I am happy as if I'm already there. I see myself as the chair. I see myself moving things seriously. I see myself very, very relevant for that Parliament under that committee. And Matches sometimes will become very political, place non-professionals in some sectors, but sometimes professionals in their sectors perform better. So I look at myself, and then I'm still energetic, and then I can still commit time for the work of the East African Legislative Assembly, and then my exposure of the local communities, the sub-national, the national, and then the regional perspectives. I've been relating with, for example, IGAD, and I have also been relating with SADC. Those are some of the regional collaborations which have put climate change management at the forefront. So we have been implementing certain programs and projects with them.
Okay.
And with that exposure, I just believe that I'll bring fantastic contribution to Yala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we pray that it works out and your elected member of parliament represent us in the Yara. But before we conclude our episode, if you look at East Africa 20 years from now, what kind of region do you want our children to inherit?
Yeah. Dear viewers and listeners, there are a number of policies that are put in place, have been put in place. There are a lot of legal instruments. Others are even on, they are not yet accomplished. For example, the monetary union. We want a region. We want a region which, and actually this is what many people, many youth aspire to see. We want a region that can unite our visions as countries. When you are able to work, to reside, to trade within East Africa with no impediments as an East African. We have somehow moved some steps, but they are not exhausted. Yeah, we are happy with the movement now that you can move within East Africa with your ID. But that is not enough. We would like an East Africa, because we are talking about sovereignty of the region. But the challenge that every country now wants to be sovereign in its own way, and doesn't want the region to do anything about it. That is where we had the challenges with the sovereignty law. That we are not at this moment when we are collecting up or when we are improving the performance of our integration. It is not good to overexalt the sovereignty of your country. We are supposed to look at the sovereignty of the region and not the country alone. We are looking at an integration that can oversee, not different countries are going to oversee it.
Oh.
Yeah, there must be a way when the regional secretariat is able to intervene in some things that are not in line with the charter. That is my other observation. So, because when we bring issues of having a uniform monetary unit, I see that is where we're supposed to be. But again, we are overexalting our sovereignty. To me, that is a threat. But what we want for East Africa is for our people within the region being able to be defended by this entity called the East African Community. We want somebody from Uganda to trade from outside, somebody from Kenya, somebody from Tanzania, to trade from outside, when actually some of these taxation policies apply to all of us equitably. But as we talk now, remember we are a landlocked country. As we talk now, we tend sometimes even to hike some of our items, even when the cross-boundary taxes are low. You get me? So we need to harmonize on a number of things. Now, when we harmonize on a number of things, that is when we shall have a bloc that can oversee us. And so it takes time, but it is indeed very important for the different members of parliament to relate well with their country leadership, to see what to take there and to see what we live here.
We live here.
That is very important. So what do we want?
Okay.
And then their visions, their missions for the community that have already been highlighted. But as if some of the countries just take the write-ups or append their signatures on the treaties, but when you come to the exact implementation, because whatever is signed up there is supposed to be domesticated here. And so people should be able to see it in their day-to-day.
Are you talking about the infrastructure?
Yes,
dreams
that one is also there. That one is also, that is one of them.
Some countries have put that on the paper.
I'm telling you.
And are sleeping on it.
Because according to the East African community, it takes it as a priority. Now, when we come here, you may find that retaining Mr. Museveni in power is a priority.
Defense.
So, defense. So, we depart like that. But it is good to harmonize.
Okay.
To harmonize. If that the East African want should have this infrastructure, should have this progress in agriculture, we should be able to always look out for monitoring the progress. Actually, the UN, you see the Sustainable Development Goals. Every year, there is what they call voluntary reporting. Every year, out of the 17 SDGs, they give us around 4 Sustainable Development Goals to report on. Every country is supposed to report on the progress. So under the East African Treaty, we are supposed to report on progress yearly. The different countries should be able to report on the progress yearly. That is what can confirm to us that what we wrote to be done can be effected. Yeah.
And with this, talking about youth, women, and the future, and I have one question for you. What should be done to prepare East Africans for digital economy and future jobs? Probably end with that in 2 minutes. Producer tells me you have 2 minutes.
Okay. So dear viewers, under the Customs Union, there is a provision that the different member states, residents in the different member states are free to conduct trade, are free to reside, are free to work in any country.
Okay.
And so with that provision, we are actually supposed to have a report on how far East African community has provided employment to our youth. We are supposed to have that report because we committed to have that under that union.
Okay.
Now, the provisions are already set. They are available. But, for example, a country like mine, which doesn't have a minimum wage, if a Kenyan wanted to come here and is like, from my country, the list is this amount. Can that apply here? No, it can't apply because for us, we don't have a minimum wage. So certain standards must be put in place, especially of those items we pledged under the treaty and the union, the customs union.
Yeah.
So to me, what I see is that the write-ups are wonderful, and if we decide to domesticate them, then the women, the youth, the trading, the work, the residents will be affected just for the improvement of our livelihoods. We should not see more people in the Arabic countries, UAE, than our people within the East African communities. Yeah, because the trade options are many.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in just a minute, your closing remarks.
So viewers and listeners, this is your own. I do not have 2 citizenships, or 2 or more. This is your own. locally made from Uganda, studied in Uganda. Even the 2 degrees are from Makerere University, and probably the PhD is the one that is in another university. But I'm locally made.
You are super local.
Yes, and I have very well managed to show you the potential that is in me while I served as a member of parliament for Kiboga district. So now this is yet another step that I would like to take, and I request for your support. I know if it was Kiboga people to vote for me, I would have a lot of votes. But what Ugandans can do is to request your member of parliament to vote for me when it comes to the general Yala elections in 2027, around October 2027. So if you cannot do it, please, the members of parliament, I'm a person who respects you so much, and we pledge to continue with good relationship that can help me get what you want to be represented in the East African community. So for God and my country.
Imagine our viewers and our listeners, it is 2035 and East Africa has become a successful story. My question to you is, what should be done now and then, each one of us in East Africa to say, well, this is the East Africa we want. This is the East Africa that we needed or we wanted. What should be done now and then? It comes back to you and me. We sign out. Bye-bye.